because you have a channel that's blowing up right now. So if people don't know, your channel has over 40,000 subscribers.
43 as we speak.
43,000 subscribers. You have a video that went so viral that they talked about it at WrestleMania. That's crazy, bro.
You suck! No, you suck! No, you... I got a reaction. Yes.
And I'm gonna be honest, man. I got lucky because I just happened to like catch that moment like right there. I was doing a vlog, bro. Like I told you, I'm a big wrestling fan, and I went to the first show in Acrisure, and I just happened to be next to a drunk guy that was just drunk, and he was heckling, and we happened to be like next to the, you know, to the entrance ramp, and I don't know why it was completely out of character for her. But you know, she caved in to, you know, to
the guy's remarks.
To the guy's remarks saying you suck. And she looked at our way, and I happened to be recording, and I caught that. And right away, once like she said, "No, suck my ass," and she's a bomb looking chick, bro. Come on, yeah. She's legit a Barbie doll. Right away, once like I caught her looking at the camera and saying what she said, I knew it was viral, because one thing is that she's a brand. She's like an umbrella brand to WWE, which is a global brand. You look at all these wrestlers that are just doing all these shows, all these appearances at all these different arenas, all these countries. Eventually, like, that channel was going to do numbers, because I'm not building something from the ground up. No, I'm just utilizing what's already relevant, and I'm just kind of like making content off of it about just me being at the show. And I just happen to catch that moment that was like a spur in the moment. So many simps came on that comment section, like saying, "Oh, I wish it was me." There's people that were like white knights, like, "Oh, how dare you say that to her? I can't believe." Like, it just captured the attention of people, because it made people feel something.
How many millions is it at now?
54 million.
Views.
I'm still getting comments every day.
That's insane.
I'm still getting comments every day, man.
And so they ended up having a panel at the next WrestleMania, because this happened in last fall.
This happened in October, like last October.
Last October. So this past WrestleMania, they had a panel, and someone brought up that video because
Chris Van Vliet, man. So Chris, shout out to Chris.
So there's this video on YouTube that has like 37 million views. You know what I'm talking about? Of a fan heckling you?
I do.
He does like Oscar, like he does like a lot of like movie premiere, like videos where he interviews celebrities, but he does like interviews, like does a lot of interviews with the wrestlers.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize at the time, but I thought it just went viral on YouTube. Nah, this thing went on Twitter. And it captured the attention of Tiffany Stratton, the girl, the wrestler chick in the video.
The fan yells, "You suck!" You yell, "You suck!" back. Do you have any idea in that moment that this was going to become a thing?
No, I had no idea he was even filming. So the fact that I saw that on Twitter and it like blew up, I was like, "Oh, come on."
He mentioned the video to her, and she said, "Oh, I didn't even know he was recording." I'm like, "You're lying, bro. You're lying. You knew the camera's there." Like, you can't be a wrestler, like
someone won't be recording,
and somebody not.
So
recording.
She said that she was recording, and then
that's cap, bro. That's cap. She knows. She's just downplaying the situation.
Yeah. And then you said some choice words to him.
I did.
Well,
yeah.
You know,
gotta let him know every so often.
Yeah. He sucks, not you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe when someone's holding a camera, you cut another promo on them next time.
Yeah, I should. I feel like that worked out well for me.
I mean, it's been seen by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Got like such euphoria, because it's like, one, I watched this dude's content for like a long time, and two, it's like you get that validation of like the fact that a wrestler like saw your video. Like, what? Again, my whole like the whole intention wasn't to like show like how bad she was, but it just like it was just something that just happened. It was just like
an organic reaction.
Reaction.
Because in that video, so the guy says, "You suck," right?
And you suck.
No, you suck. And then she like, "Suck my ass."
Suck my ass.
And that's it.
Bro.
That's the whole interaction. So the way you edited it as well. So that has something to do with it, because you added sound effects, you added subtitles, you did like a punch-in little effect. And I remember you were editing that stuff, and you didn't just post that clip. So you enhanced the clip, and 54 million views later. That's just on YouTube, but you're saying it went viral on Twitter. Did you post it on Twitter too, or someone else reposted it?
I think all I did was that I went on Twitter, I created a sub account, and I had pushed it because you told me to get on Twitter, promote your stuff. I've never really been big on Twitter or anything like that, but I was going to comment sections of like the Acrisure show, and I was just like commenting on other people's stuff because the day of the event, like after the event was over, I was going to the comment section of people that were tweeting at that show. I was going and I linked, like I was commenting like
and
on their post and linking the video, and I guess it got pushed. Somebody probably grabbed the clip. Whatever. All I know is that the video went from that. It grew on YouTube. It grew on Twitter. The whole wrestling industry saw it. All these YouTube channels, like they saw it somehow. It got the attention of her. So it's like, dude, I knew I caught lightning in a bottle. This girl, even now, another reason why it's still growing is because she's still building her brand. You know, she's in the title in the Money in the Bank picture that's gonna happen in right now, like in a couple days. She's on the card. She's doing all these PLE shows, like where she's performing in Scotland, France, what have you.
So she's like, just growing as she's doing more shows, doing more content, doing more interviews. She's growing her brand, which is growing that video because it's the top performing video of her career, basically.
Yeah. So Tiffany, hey, if you want to, if you want to holler at me, create more content, you know where to find me. It's Tiffy time, bro. It's Tiffy time.
I don't understand that reference.
It's her thing, man.
Plans with that channel, you're gonna keep on posting wrestling content, or what?
I want to do what you do with the Coachella stuff. I want to originally, like, I mean, my whole intention with that channel was just to like me go to events, highlight the event, like kind of, again, I've been working with you for a while, like following your format of like how you document your experiences at Coachella. Same thing with wrestling events. Like, I want to go to an event, vlog about it, talk about it, like, hey, like this is what the experience is of like going to a house show where it's like it's not televised, going into like a live event taping where they're actually like taping in an arena,
like a Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, and then like going to like a big pay-per-view, like a SummerSlam, WrestleMania, hopefully.
WrestleMania next year in Vegas.
In Vegas, dude.
We gotta go, bro.
Dude,
it's a must. So it lands on Coachella weekend too.
Yeah,
that weekend. So I'm gonna have to not go. I don't know.
You're gonna have to work something, man. Make Vegas. That budget work, man.
I don't got time.
Hey, man, just bet everything on red and you'll get your tickets.
Gone to another house show? Or
I haven't, man. They did like some sort of AEW event recently at the Acrisure Arena show, but I don't know, man. AEW hasn't really been... WWE, man, since Triple H and Vince got booted, has been so good, man, because like
it just feels like a fresh start. They're going all out. They're actually listening to the fans.
They're developing storylines, bro, where it's like everything is like building to something. It's like Raw in the early 2000s. Wrestling was must see. Like you wouldn't know what would happen unless you tuned into the last week. So it's like every show is like telling a story and it's building to something, which at the end of the day they're building towards the pay-per-views. The whole storyline with like the bloodline, like it's a good time to be a Samoan right now because the whole like storyline with that is like Roman's out of the picture, he lost the title, and all of a sudden like everybody's coming for like being the head of the tribe. There's this like family Samoan civil war that's happening. It's been building up for 4+ years. Paul Heyman's in the picture as well. He just got taken out. It's so good because it doesn't revolve a title. It's just about family. Yeah. And then The Rock's in it somehow, and it's like
so more the biggest brands, you know.
Right now is like a renaissance era for WWE because they're global. They're doing sponsorship with Prime. Logan Paul's wrestling too. You have all these celebrities. Bad Bunny.
I seen that Puerto Rico, right? That's
Puerto Rico, dude. For so many years, they were on television, but now they're going exclusively on Netflix, like in 2025. The amount of creative range that they're going to have with that, dude.
Because streaming, it's like TV 14, something like that. I know, for example, the roast of Tom Brady that they had recently.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that?
No, but I heard.
So
I
that
heard
one, like the cursing and everything was just going crazy because it's streaming. It was streaming live. Versus if it's on Comedy Central, you have more strict laws. Like you can't say these things on TV. You can't say these bad words.
Yeah.
You gotta have commercial breaks and all that. Which is the internet, you know, like it's more real. I like that.
Well, TV is regulated, man. At the end of the day, like it's
It's
regulated.
antiquated. No one even watches TV anymore. Everyone's addicted to the phone the whole time. And then like if you're watching TV, is you're watching like a sports like
You're watching
soccer
the
game.
Olympics. You're watching
Something. But then like as soon as like the play's over, you're on Twitter to see what people are talking shit about Tom Brady or whatever you're watching. You know? The big ones is the Euro Championship and the Copa America are
Yeah.
happening right now. Mexico and USA.
USA.
Damn, they got left in the group stage, bro. We used to go to Mexico games a lot. We went to Copa Oros right here in LA. We would go to the Rose Bowl.
When was this?
2011.
Oh, okay.
Do you ever see the goal of Giovanni Dos Santos like, against US where he like juked the goalie and then like he won the? I was there, bro. We were right there.
Really?
2011. Fucking carne asada. There was people that would take a banda. They take like trucks. It'll be like a truck with like two porta potties in the back of the truck, like tied down.
Yeah.
They bring their own bathrooms. They bring freaking bandas and mariachis, carne asada. People are just hanging out, partying, going to the game. And it's a cool culture,
Yeah.
and it's like so much fun to do that. But then I started seeing like, at least for the U.S. soccer, they don't really care about. I mean, Mexico soccer, they don't care about winning. It's about money.
Right.
So most of the games that they played in the U.S. They don't even play in Mexico anymore because they make way more money selling at the Rose Bowl, 80, 90,000 people, than selling out stadium in Mexico. They're making that dollars, you know, and like they know that even if the selección sucks, people in the U.S. are going to
they'll
support
pay.
it because it's nostalgic, because of those parties where you hang out with people, and it's like once a year they
Not
come
that,
down.
dude. It's just like they know that we're gonna support. We're passionate. We're passionate fans. I mean, we're Mexican. You know, we want to see our team win, our national team win. You know, and you like you said, like it's all capitalistic. Like, nah, dude. Like, you talk about 2011. I think that was probably like the last best era of like Mexican soccer.
Yeah,
because bro, you look at
the 2014 World Cup, they peaked there. That's it. Was downhill after that Nora Penal. It was just downhill from there.
what was the head coach? Lover.
Which one?
Lover, the head coach.
From Mexico?
Yeah, from Mexico,
What year?
2014.
No, it was Hector Herrera. Oh, no, not Hector Herrera. Miguel Herrera.
Okay,
That fool that fucking did the Dragon Ball Z screaming.
bro.
And they would, like, make a
He
meme out of him.
he at
See, that
least
fool had passion, bro.
he had passion.
The reason he got kicked out is because he socked the journalist. Like, I don't know what he said. This commentator, like, he ran into him at the airport, and I don't know what he said to him, and that fool socked him. And it was on camera, and they literally fired him because of that.
bro. If anybody
And that
runs,
coach, like, had fucking Netherlands beat, and then we lost at the end with the penalty and shit. But
well, we've never been good at penalties. I'm gonna just say that. You
that
know?
too, yeah. Except Temo was beast.
This Copa America, how in the world, like, is Ecuador and Venezuela doing better than us? Like, they beat us in the group stage. They're not a better team. I know Mexico, we're not good, but it's like, bro,
There's more people in Mexico City than both those countries combined and shit.
for
Like,
real,
it just
dude.
doesn't
There's
make sense.
117 million Mexicans.
Plus the ones in the U.S. that live here. It's just the most passionate sport in the country, and you can't get 11 players. But it's corruption because on the Mexican League, they have like 8 or 9 foreign players per team.
Mm-hmm.
So all the young 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds that are coming up, they don't even get a chance to play. Versus like in Europe or over there, even here in the U.S., they actually look at talent. They don't care where your family's from. They don't care anything. There's talent's gonna move you up. And in Mexico, it's like if you're part of an academy, you gotta be paying to play in the academy
Yeah.
instead of getting like a scholarship because you're good. You gotta be paying thousands of pesos a week or a month to just be in training when your parents don't make any money. And it's like, oh shit, if you're a 12, 13-year-old, it's like your parents need help working till you fucking pay for shit, or they don't have money to pay for your academy, so then they have to sacrifice their soccer careers, and then even the ones that are getting the opportunity, like their parents, maybe they can't pay for those teams.
Yeah.
They don't get a chance in the first team because there's 9 foreign players, and the league wants to sell more money and merchandise. They don't care about developing players. And then the other thing is when there's a breakout star, because the Mexican league is like top 10 in the world when it comes to viewership and stadium size, stadium revenue from TV rights, that it attracts a lot of Latin American players. So that's why there's so many foreigners. So you have people from Ecuador, from Venezuela, from Argentina, from Chile. They all come play in the Mexican league.
Yeah.
And now the ones that break out, they start making some noise in the Mexican league, and then European teams start reaching out, but they're basically overvalued. So a European team wants to sign a 20-year-old Mexican player. He's worth $20 million because in the Mexican league, another Mexican team like Chivas or Monterrey will pay those $20 million to keep that guy there.
Yeah.
Or European is asking like $5 million. But the Mexican league is like, nah, our player's worth way more. So then the European rather pick up 2 Brazilians for $5 million that maybe they're the same talent, maybe a little less talented, but now they could get 2 or 3 players versus 1.
Yeah.
And then the Mexican players also have comfort because they know in the Mexican league they're going to be like the most famous people in the country. They're going to make a lot of money. They're already comfortable. Their family's there. They don't want to sacrifice to be a third stringer in fucking Holland and shit.
Bro, on top of that, like, the European league is more physical too, and like most Mexicans are like barely reaching 6 feet. So it's like
Short, fast pace.
yeah, man. Like Messi, like how he was like when he went to the European league, like he was like the small little pulga that he was.
Pulgas, sí. The slower center of gravity though, that fool.
Yeah, no, but it's just like when it comes down to like all that, man, it's just follow the money. Follow the money. I think this is a hot take, man. I feel like we need to do a whole clean sweep with the whole federation, get rid of the players, get a new head coach, just hit the reset button, because at this point, man, in 2 years from now, it's the World Cup.
It's and the way it's looking now is like they have scored 1 goal in all 3 games. You know, they scored 1 goal.
Bro,
they can't score. They have no fucking young talent. And then the U.S., which has all the young talent, has all the resources, and they're actually developing players. Europe has like 100. I mean, the U.S. has like over 100 U.S. players in Europe already in all of these leagues. And they do have a badass roster and players playing in like the best leagues, but they still freaking lost, bro.
Yeah.
They actually only got 3 points this entire tournament, and they're out.
At this point, just let the cartel take over the Mexican league. You know, I feel like they'll give them enough motivation to develop players.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what Pablo Escobar did in Colombia. So Pablo Escobar in the 80s and 90s, that fool, he built soccer parks because he loved soccer, and there were stories. I wish there was like footage of this, but there's stories that Pablo Escobar would fly out players from all over the world and have like a soccer game. Like he'll like
a private game.
Yeah,
like
private game. Like he'll fly
exhibition.
out fucking Maradona and all these like famous ass players. They play in his fucking ranch and shit, and then pays them like millions of dollars. No one ever records it. No one ever just like fantasies and shit.
This is a different Escobar, but I remember there was a story of I forgot which Mundial it was, but it was Colombia. I think it was against either Uruguay or
on the 98 World Cup.
98, where it was an autogol.
Sí.
And that player ended up going back to his country, and I guess some big Colombian like kingpin had bet a lot of money on the game, and that there was an altercation, and he ended up like being killed.
Yeah, so he got killed when he got back to his country because his autogol knocked him out. That's gonna suck.
That sucks, bro. I mean,
sometimes accidents happen, but when you're dealing with people's money,
I'm just saying, that's the kind of motivation our players need at this point.
I know. What the fuck?
They're not playing with passion, bro.
You gotta motivate them somehow, bro.
You gotta motivate them somehow. So,
Cartel de Jalisco.
Hey, Chapillos, pitch in.
we need to win the World Cup. It's coming in 2 years.
2 years. Make us proud, because it's draining. It's draining being a Mexico fan. It's
hard, bro. So the Copa America is still going on. I don't know who's gonna win. Brazil looks really good. I think
they look pretty good.
Argentina's still badass. So Uruguay looks good. Uruguay was playing good too. So I think Brazil's gonna win it. And then then we have the Euro Cup happening at the same time. Freaking DC England almost got knocked out, and then Jude Bellingham did a fucking chilena to save them. Dude, 94th minute or whatever.
I know, dude. That game had me at the edge of my feet, because I was just like, man, England usually shows out at these things. I was just like, I thought England was gonna get out, but
sometimes those lucky ass games. Then Ronaldo, you see Ronaldo crying?
Yeah, but he made it. But he made it back. He made it back.
But so I saw this video today because he was crying because that was gonna be his last international game ever, bro. Like, that's it. His last game with Portugal, maybe his last tournament. losing that penalty, like he was just heartbroken, bro. And it's like, what the fuck? And then like his team kind of carried on. That was cool. Like his team was like, nah, fuck no. Like these dudes used to watch Ronaldo when they were kids. Like
Yeah.
maybe one day I could play like my hero, you know, and like they're carrying their hero to victory. So I thought it was cool. And then they're still in the game. They're still in the tournament. So Portugal's still in there.
They're scheduled to play France, no?
Yeah, they play France.
Dude.
That's going to be tough. It's Spain, Germany on one, and then France, Portugal on the other one. Then it's England against, I forgot who England is playing.
Is it like Poland or Netherlands?
Netherlands, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
And then Turkey. I don't even know who's left, but those are the one side of the bracket. That's a tough one. They're in the same bracket. Spain, Germany, France, Portugal. The two winners play in the semifinal. And on the other brackets, Turkey, England, the Netherlands, and maybe fucking Austria. I don't even remember who it was. But
I could see probably either Germany or France taking it.
I had predicted Germany just because it's in their home country, and I feel like just home crowd they're gonna win. But French just look badass, and England has like badass players. They haven't looked good, but they keep winning.
They keep winning, but they're inconsistent. I think.
And Spain looks really good. They have a bunch of young players, so that's the difference. Spain, they have two players that are they're teenagers, bro. They have one that's like 16 or 17, and that one's like 18 or 19.
Midfield strikers?
Midfielder and a
Midfield.
winger.
Okay.
So, and these dudes, this one dude has like a goal, the other fool has like 2 assists, and they're playing badass, and they're 16, 17 years old. But in Mexico, they wouldn't even get a chance to play in the league.
Yeah.
They would never even call them up to the national team because their interest is in making money. So you're gonna bring this old
Established
player that's gonna sell stadiums, that's gonna sell jerseys, or this unknown 16-year-old. So the federation rather take the food that's gonna make them a couple million.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Like
They
they
don't
don't
develop.
care about winning. They don't care about development. They care about making that quick money now, and that's the corruption.
Yeah. I'm telling you, bro.
And that's why I kind of like stopped watching sports. I still watch sports.
Yeah.
More like highlights though. Instead of sitting for 2 hours watching a whole game, I just literally don't even keep up with the updates, and it'll pop up into my YouTube feed, and sometimes it gets spoiled. They'll tell you the result.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you click on it and it's like, oh shit, I don't know who won. You're watching the 10-minute highlight. You're like, oh shit, oh damn, this team fucking came back. But it saves me 2 hours.
Yeah, of course. Nah, man.
And I used to, like, for Sunday night or Sunday football, during football season, I would watch like 8 hours, 9 hours of football, just like consuming their content. That's you're consuming football.
Right.
It's just a brand. It's sports, but everything's attention. So WWE's attention.
They're selling
rest of-
you
yeah.
sponsorships. Like
Yes, it's all ads. It's all Coca-Cola and the Nike logo, and then the football has a logo, Wilson, and there's commercials every freaking timeout, and then all these ads, and it's just you're giving away all your time. So then
Right.
I was like, I have to take a step back from sports. And I used to watch like NBA. I didn't watch one NBA game this whole season. Not
I
once.
haven't either. I didn't even know the Celtics won.
I didn't even know the Celtics won until like the last game. I was like, oh shit. And then like I don't care about baseball. The only one I keep up with is soccer.
You know what's
Just 'cause
crazy?
it's-
Boxing and baseball are the two best sports that Mexicans are actually good at.
That's true.
And well, if you count UFC, from what Dana White said the other,
All the biggest fighters, the best fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Mexican fighters are known. You know, like I support Mexicans whatever they do. Now we have like a good Mexican in Formula One. We have that's why I'm always supporting Peso Pluma.
Yeah,
Because he's like the first Mexican artist he's right now the third most listened out artist because he dropped an album like 2 weeks ago. He's behind
selling
Billie,
out stadiums, man.
behind Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift right now. He's number 3 when his album dropped. And like I never seen a Mexican artist charting the top 100, the top 10, having a number 1 song. Like it's the first time I've ever seen a Mexican artist. So I'm supporting the movement. Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
like it's helping Mexican culture.
And he's doing
other
collabs.
artists. He's doing collabs. He's playing festivals like at Coachella, bro. Like I never thought I'd seen corridos mainstream and shit. So I support Mexicans no matter what they do, you know. So
It's part
some
of the
tribal
culture.
shit. Some tribal shit.
It's part of the ape culture.
Those are my apes, dog. Mexicans are my apes.
Have you seen the movie? The
The Rising Planet of the Apes or
Kingdom.
I did. I got to see
I
it.
still haven't seen it, man.
It's actually pretty cool. I don't know. At first, I was like, why are they bringing back like more franchise? But the CGI looks crazy. Like these monkeys look real, bro. So,
dude. Even the old movies, like I My favorite franchise before like watching those movies or like the first three movies was Transformers because I thought like the CGI was ahead of its time. No, though the first Planet of the Apes movie with James Franco that
Yeah.
was like in 2011
Around there, yeah.
around there. That was ahead of its time because it still holds up to this day.
Hell yeah, we watched that movie recently too. I like that movie. Yeah, James Franco. That's one of his best roles too. Before he got canceled.
Yeah. At the end, like, and how I started watching those three movies was I started with Dawn, the second movie, which was, in my opinion, is
Koba?
with Koba. And even though, like, I started with that movie, I still knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And that was like the cool thing about that I saw like with that franchise is like no matter what movie you were at, it's not like Harry Potter, where like you have to like kind of
Know
like
about the characters.
know about
and
the
all
character,
this,
you still know what the plot is.
And it's a simple plot because ape is core.
It's
It's like
post-apocalyptic, but what I liked is that how more human they made the apes and how like ape they made the humans. Or like how primitive, or like how a savage.
Like the virus, instead of reversing everything.
Yeah.
Now they look at humans as savages, and then these people are like the dominant species. I mean, it's true. It's just we're lucky we're the dominant species because we have brains and all this shit. But robots,
we have consciousness.
Robots
man.
are gonna take over. So for now, we're dominant species. But ChatGPT, thank you for helping us. And then so it's.
What do you think, Angel? You feel like we might adopt like being some sort of like hyper machine, hyper human species, like with everything that's going forward? You think there might be like
it's gonna be a thing after our lifetime. Like we're still gonna see it, and it's gonna happen for the most part. Like you're gonna have the people that are like super into the VR world, but I think for the most part, most humans are still gonna do the human interactions, like. In like third world countries or even big populations, you still need vendors selling shit in the streets. You still need people going to church, schools. Like we're still gonna have that human to human.
Of course.
Like it's not gonna be like all digital. And like some parts of like big cities and shit like that is gonna get real fucking like in where's the city? San Francisco, where they started testing the drone deliveries.
Oh, okay.
So you order
With
something
Amazon,
from
right?
Grubhub or like Amazon. And you need some toothpaste, they'll send a drone to drop it off in your porch. Like just that's gonna be more common in the future, but you don't have that technology in like a rural China and some village somewhere. They're still doing human to human, raising chickens and things like that. So
it's a balance
because
man.
the world is so big,
Yeah.
Sometimes we feel like the world is just what we see on social media, but it's like. Now there's like 1 billion people that don't have really good internet access and shit like that.
Starlink's changing the game, bro. You have it.
Starlink, bro. Starlink is changing the game.
It is. Man.
Did you see that story about the village in Amazon that they gave them Starlink? They had first access to the internet within like 2-3 months.
With what computer, bro?
The kids were all complaining that I think they gave them phones. I don't know. The kids and like the males were starting to get addicted to pornography and all this shit. Like they barely had been using the internet for 3 months, and that's literally where it led them to, because that's his nature. Bro.
Human nature is undefeated, bro.
And everyone's mad. It's like, why are they giving these people OnlyFans and shit? But it's like, you can't control what people consume, and then that's like learned behavior. Now they fucking.
It's just human nature. It's like what Gary Vee says. It's like, people are just people at the end of the day. They just go to like what they want, what their natural instincts go to. Like you look at whatever you look for is the internet's going to reflect it, So at the end of the day, in regards to your content consumption, your internet consumption, everything, the internet is just a reflection of you, really, if you look at it, because it's like depending on what you look at in the internet. If you think the internet's bad, it's a reflection of what you look at the internet, because the internet is just
it's data. It's showing you data.
It's just showing you what you want. So if you're one of those crazy people that are doing like gauntlet challenges or like looking at crazy videos like the two girls,
one
cup stuff, like all that crazy stuff. Because there's people that are like, I swear they send me like videos like that, like the NSFW stuff, where it's like people just like they do challenges where like it's they get you to like quit like it starts off like small, so it's called the gauntlet challenge, where it's like you watch like something nasty, like somebody popping a pimple, and then it gets brutal to like watching somebody get stabbed. It's crazy.
Cool.
No,
What
like
kind
it gets
of friends
extreme.
do you have, bro? What the-
I'm a cybersecurity student. It comes with the territory.
Have you ever gone into the dark web and shit?
You know what? I haven't, because you have to have like a certain, like you have to have the Tor network, but you have to like make sure that nothing else gets connected to that. So whatever network you're using, you have to like make sure that the network's secured, because just because you have access to the dark web doesn't mean you're secure. It just means that you open that part of the internet.
So now people could go after you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because
I've always been scared to like use it.
no, like because if you do like transactions and stuff like that, you have to do it through like, well, most of the time it has to do it through like a blockchain, because of course that's why like Bitcoin and
Bitcoin
stuff
was
like.
popular in the beginning, right?
But even then, dude, it's like you're susceptible because you're dealing with people that are doing illegal activity. So it's like, at the end of the day, man, like you never know if somebody could be snooping through your data. They can track you. So it's like I'd rather just like I'd wait till I have like a government system that can just like
Trying to stop the
yeah.
bad guys type thing. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. Like I know the stuff about videos and stuff, but like,
Have you
other
heard the
stuff on
story of Silk Road? It was a movie, Silk Road, about like the website. It was like an eBay, but like for drugs.
internet? Oh, I've heard stuff, but not really.
It was like in the early like 2000s, where like the internet was just barely becoming a thing, about like the guy who just made this website. Literally, like he was like in college and he just made this website where it was like like you could do like an order of like shrooms and stuff like that, and eventually it all caught up to him. But that was like I look at movies like that, dude, and it's just like, man, that's crazy. Like, imagine like just
Well, that's how the internet was at first. Is it was secretive. Like you never wanted to give away your real name, or it's like, oh, you gotta buy this online with your credit card. Like, oh, someone's gonna steal my credit card, and people were scared to put and use their real identity, or like you would change your thing.
of course.
And now it's the opposite. Now it's like if you're an avatar without a name or without a face, people are like, oh, that's a bot, or like, who the fuck is? Why aren't they showing their real face? Like now they make you verify with your passport to get verified on these like
Your phone number.
platforms and these phones that have like. I use all the keys all the time, where like gives you the password, like automatic save, and just time. I don't
Yeah.
want to waste time, but we just give all our information to the machine now.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And another thing too, man, is like, man, I there's times like these where like I wish I would have been old enough to like invest in like companies like Nvidia and stuff, because like, bro, like they're like one of the head companies that are like designing graphics cards, specifically like integrating like AI, and they're like one of the companies that are like Apple's partnering with like like, dude, everything is gonna be AI. Like AI on the iPhone, like that's gonna be
The
a thing.
fridge,
Like,
the microwave, the toaster,
Like-
the toilet.
bro,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And so for me, going like full circle back, that's why like I see cybersecurity as like I feel like it's gonna be an opportunity to just get into this field, because it's like, bro, somebody has to regulate these things. Like, I don't care. I don't trust any single party, any single corporation of just like manhandling data, because obviously like we've seen it even in healthcare. There's been like data leaks within the healthcare system. AT&T had their like data breaches. So it's just like, and even like the casinos that got hacked, like Caesar's Palace, like not like a few months ago back, like it just shows like even like companies that are doing well off, like they're having issues with cybersecurity, and it's just like it leaves like opportunity for just people that are wanting to have an interest in tech. Obviously, being a content creator, we're working with computers, so it's like, how can we, like, as just people that are continuing using technology, how can we be more safe in protecting our data? Because you can make the argument, well, I have nothing to hide, but it's like, you know,
Your data is something.
Your data is something because it's your behavior, it's who you are online. But then again, it's like, are you comfortable like leaving your door open at night. I mean, you can lock it, you can lock it, but if you feel like you have nothing in your house, well,
Why lock it?
why lock it, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just
What can people do, like getting VPNs and stuff? Is that something that helps?
it helps. It helps. It doesn't prevent everything, but it's just like it's just the safety rules of using a VPN is that it just masks your IP address. So our devices, they talk to each other, like they send radio waves to each other, to networks, to routers, to computers. Like everything is all connected. That's why it's called the web, because it really is. And when you're browsing the web, you're given an IP address. What a VPN does is that it just covers it. So, and it masks it. So like that's why like on the advertisement, like for like NordVPN and stuff like that, they say that you can watch like different content
in Germany or whatever.
because you could use like a different like IP address that's based out of like those different locations. So you may be in America, but you could use like a IP address like from Germany, and that's why you have access to like certain pieces of content. So it's like if somebody was to get a hold of your stuff, your information, your Facebook, whatever, they would get something. They would be missing out on the one of the most important information pieces, which is your IP address. So it's like if they get it from somewhere else, then that's like one way to kind of prevent stuff from happening. But another thing is just like common. I feel like it would just be common sense, but common sense isn't always common. Like, don't like phone like basic internet etiquette of just like don't access your bank like in a public network. Like if you're at a coffee shop and you're accessing like important information like your health records on the internet, your bank account information, like I would suggest like doing it on a VPN where you're
protecting yourself from that network that everyone has access to.
Yeah,
you never know who's on the other side.
You never know. Like I've been in rooms with hackers like that. Like there's this hacker convention called DEF CON that I've gone to like once, where they literally like have hacking devices that are like the size of an iPod Nano, like that are able to like literally break like breaks computer systems, bro. Like you could have a MacBook right now that's like top of the line right now, and that little device could just snoop like your account info just with a click of a button. Like they sell devices, man, that are like,
oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it like they're hackers that utilize like software and stuff like that. They're called script kiddies, but it's like, dude, with just as like technology is advancing, so is like these hacking techniques of just like how people are using all these technologies like ChatGPT. Like they're able to create a robot where they're able to like mask a voice. So it's like us, for example, us as a younger generation, we know that all these robocalls are fake, but our grandparents don't, right? So it's like a hacker or like one of those like Indian scammers could be like, oh, ChatGPT, narrate this script of like a female like being cordial, whatever, about like, oh, something's wrong with their insurance policy or like their computer. And so the whole time they're setting up this automated AI system that's developed to scam the
Old
elderly.
people. Yeah,
and
damn.
Like, no, dude, it happens like all the time. Like there's
well, that's the one that they target because they do even the way that they do these robocalls. They're calling to see what 1% of people might call back. 1% of that is the ones that they fall into these traps, and then they end up getting thousands of dollars from people. It doesn't make sense how they go down the rabbit hole, but it's just the gap in technology is crazy. And I get what you're saying. So people could fake being a young girl speaking Spanish based on like the coding that they use to talk to somebody in real time. How we were saying ChatGPT. Damn, it's
like different ways. That's just one example because I watched like YouTube videos of like how basically like how some of these I watch YouTube videos of how a hacker like acts. So like being like, if you want to be an ethical hacker, you have to think like, oh, how would I break into stuff? But just like being like on the end of just like you being a user, like you got to be like thinking of like how can I protect myself online, because we don't think about it. We just use these apps.
just
We
use
trust
the apps to get
we
to that
trust
point.
Apple.
Yeah.
You know, we trust all these corporations, but at the end of the day, it's like, do they really have our best interests?
It's the money, money
Follow
control,
money.
money control. It's what it is. So, and what do you think? I don't know where we're going, but any plans for America's birthday?
America's birthday. Watch a fireworks show. You know.
Last year we got that shot. when you
Oh
were over there by
yeah,
the
we
fire.
got to get a drone shot this year. Hopefully.
I've been trying to. I kind of wanted to shoot a music video and get a shot. I've been talking to artists, but no one has committed yet. so.
Who would be your dream artist to get a firework 4th of July shot?
A dream artist?
Yeah.
Shh. Nata.
Nata?
Compa Nata. Get some shots of Nata.
Sheesh.
Right there with the firework. So I'm trying to get it. I'll see if I could schedule an artist on tomorrow. Tomorrow's the fireworks show. July
Oh,
3rd.
at the park?
Coachella, yeah.
Okay.
That one's the best. It's better than all the casinos and shit.
Yeah, dude. Nah, I'm free tomorrow to watch that show. Honestly, man, 4th of July is just one of those days where I just take off and I just take it
Chill.
as a chill day. More
There's gotta be like 120 this
yeah,
weekend, bro.
nah, this
How-
heat.
Does your trailer AC is okay, or you guys are dying?
Oh no, man. The AC units are going, man. We're going ham
But
with them.
once it gets to 120, still fucking keeps up. Because I remember when I lived in the trailer, that shit
Bro,
was fucking nightmare, bro.
it's one of those things where it's just like
How do you like stay cool? in
so
the heat?
I'm
Summer.
I'm lucky because my room doesn't have any windows, so it's just I just have an AC unit and like my room is dark, so like the sun doesn't really hit my room, and because it's small and it's dark, it stays cool. But bro, like once I get out of like just the living room and then I leave like to my car, bro, that's the worst feeling, bro, because you get in your car, you feel that seatbelt metal, and it's like, god damn, dude, like I the way I've been surviving is just staying in my room unless if I have to leave, like for something, either for work, school, I have to go get groceries, whatever. If you know, I cover my car now after like dealing with the heat. You get those aluminum panels to like block the sun or at least like insulate it, and I just make sure to, like blast that AC high, because you gotta at the 100 degrees outside, man. Inside your car is probably like 120, so it's like you're cooking, bro.
So
like
it's almost like you could bake cookies inside of a car when it gets that hot. Like you get some cookies, you put a tray,
yeah,
and then you close the windows, and it's like an oven because it's that hot. It gets to like 100+ degrees. So I don't know if that's healthy or not, but I kind of want to do some like I'm gonna make some content this weekend. It's on Friday. It's gonna be either 120 or 121 on Friday, bro.
Shit.
That's what they were saying. I don't know if it changed, but I'm gonna do the break an egg to see if it cooks, and then I'm gonna try cooking cookies in on the car. That's gonna be
what
my
flavor?
challenges.
Chocolate chip, oatmeal.
I don't even know.
Peanut
I'm gonna
butter.
have to do some cookie recipes on TikTok, but yeah, should be a hot weekend. This will be a good time to like leave the valley. I was in LA last week.
How
it was
was
like
it?
79, bro. And we were like 105,
Yeah.
106. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here, bro? Like,
Dude, for real.
sometimes it's crazy.
But you know, it's just for a short while. Like we're barely in July.
3 more months.
It's like I'd say 2 more months, because usually like in September, last September I felt like it wasn't that bad, really. Like it's just passing August.
Still hot though, but I don't know.
Passing August is like August is the hottest month out of the whole entire summer, in my opinion. So it's just like just staying hydrated, man, staying in the shade, don't go out until it's like night and stuff.
Go to the mall.
Go to the mall. Yeah, even like I've been, even at work, man, I a lot of the people that I talk to, like they're coming from Arizona and they're like going to like the Big Bear Lake. They're traveling too, because it gets like hot over there just as much too. I think the hottest part of America is like what, Death Valley?
Yeah, I think it's in Nevada.
Like Nevada, dude.
It's like when it's like 120 here, it's like 130 plus over there. I can't
Bro.
even imagine 130.
But you know what's cool about Nevada? And I was doing I don't know why, dude. I always like whenever I get curious about something, like why does it get hot? Like I was looking into the whole like demographic about like Nevada, like like even just Las Vegas, because now Las Vegas wasn't supposed to be there, and I was just like curious about like how they use water, and it came to find out, dude, that like Nevada is one of the most water efficient areas like that utilizes the Colorado River, because we're in California, like there's Nevada, California, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, that we all share the Colorado
the river, yeah.
the Colorado River, and water is important because it basically
Sustains life.
we
crops.
use it for electricity, right? Because when we build dams, we use it not just to hold water, but to generate electricity. And bro, like you mentioned this book about like the water, like this, like the 100 years or something like that. And one of the things is like water wars.
The next 100 years, yeah. It was a book.
There was already like water wars of like how LA came to be. It's similar to like Las Vegas, how it was like a mecca for like just, it was just desert.
Yeah.
But because there was like these like areas where there was just water, like there was these people that they stole water from like this area from the mountain. Everything had it like was correlated to like just the business and economic side of just maintaining the water supply, because that is what led to like industry to like
Yeah, and I mean, that's how all the towns were settled along the Mississippi, St. Louis, and all these cities. They all settle because you need water for everything.
Yeah.
It's the foundation for any society.
and so
In human history, that's why in Egypt, too, the Nile River, there's all these civilizations, they spawn next to a river.
right. And so when I was looking at like Las Vegas, like us as California, we use like 83% of the Colorado resources, and everybody else gets like less. Nevada gets like either close to 4 to like 8%, like, which is very small, but they're very water efficient because they all create like these different policies of like everything that gets used from the shower to like gets reused. So any water, even the Bellagio do that, like you think like wastes a lot
Yeah.
of water. It's all like engineered in a way where it's like, because they're not using a lot, they don't have a lot of supply. They ended up creating all these different policies and all these like engineering, like these great like civil engineering ways of like being resourceful with their water. So even though like we see in Vegas again all these crazy like landmarks where they're having waterfalls, all these crazy things, all that water gets reused, even from the hotels, and it's like they're able to sustain like such a huge population in Las Vegas by only using like 8% of that Colorado River, which is still like kind of like depleting, like because it's
Yeah,
not,
of course.
but
Yeah, no,
it's-
like we're not supposed to be living in these desert areas, but also it's like the whole world's resources, like everything's still, it's kind of like somehow propaganda. Like when you travel, like you go on a plane,
uh-huh,
it's literally the whole United States is empty besides like the big cities.
right,
You're in California, you travel outside of like the LA area, you're going up north, it's nothing. Like they're just, you're going through nothing. You go
The
to
Great
Nevada,
Plains.
there's nothing on the way until you get to Vegas. Then after that, there's nothing until you get to Reno. That's why you usually do nuclear tests in Nevada because it's empty.
yeah,
You in Colorado, I stopped there. We went to Florida, and our stop was from LAX to Denver.
uh-huh,
The whole trip to Colorado was just mountains and emptiness.
Plains.
Then you get to a city. Then we traveled through Oklahoma. We drove back, so we flew to Florida, then we drove back because my brother bought a car from his friend. So we went through Oklahoma. Fucking, we were driving through emptiness. Fucking Texas, like all empty, just random little towns.
Yeah.
New Mexico, empty. Arizona, empty. So it's like the whole fucking United States is empty. I know Europe's overpopulated because everybody's been there for thousands of years, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like we just have an abundance of land and resources. And they use that propaganda to scare us and to keep us in line, you know, like this and that. And I know we do have problems with sustainability and using the fresh water because it's not the same as ocean water. But if we really wanted to, there's countries already in the Middle East that are 100% dependent on salt desalination of water. But the California next to the ocean is not a top priority because we have the resources, the manpower, and the technology to make that happen. But they don't do it because
politics, money.
yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just kind of sketchy too.
Yeah,
The whole
no,
thing.
man. At the end of the day, just follow the money, follow the politics, and you'll get to wherever you're at. But I just think that like
It's a clown show.
it is, man. It is. I just think that like I think that's another thing, man, about like our generation is that like back in the day, like everybody in politics is like old. It's like everybody that's like in the Senate and the House is like they can't relate to the younger generation because they were like brought up in the 50s, 60s, or like early
When it was simpler times and like the inflation wasn't crazy and the values. Now it's like it's just they can't keep up, and there has to be like fucking term limits on age, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's like you wouldn't get one of these dudes to run your company. You wouldn't let these dudes even drive sometimes. Like, they're that old and shit, but they're the judges and the fools making decisions, and it's like I don't know.
I think like as younger or just at least like more of like millennials or just like younger people start to get into like these important positions, that's when we'll see like some change, hopefully within like the next 10, 20 years. Because that's another thing too, man, is like how much of these like problems and issues that us as a generation we care about, the old generation doesn't relate to, because it's like it's not really a problem that they've faced, right? Like inflation in the 70s wasn't the same as like inflation now, you know what I mean? Or like the whole fact that we had to endure like a whole pandemic, or like we have to deal with like social media, which is like crazy too, because I was watching a podcast of the Jack Rhysider guy. He was doing a story about this girl where she like a family friend, a guy that was like at her wedding, who was like friends like with the who was friends with like her husband. She ended up finding out that the guy was like leaking her like nudes or something like that on like forums and stuff for like 10 plus years, dude.
Oh,
like
fuck.
like completely anonymous, like she didn't know who he was. And the girl has like a twin sister that's like an attorney basically, like she was going to school at the time for it. And so for 10 years, dude, like she was trying to find out who this guy was. And at eventually like they ended up finding out who the guy was because he kept like stalking her on Snapchat. And I don't know if you've ever been on Snapchat, but you could see like kind of like Instagram, like who views your stuff, because you can see the avatar. So she ended up screenshotting like within the first 5 minutes like who like the first people were, and then she ended up finding out that it was this guy, and the guy ended up like doing the same thing to other girls, like one like a 14-year-old, like there was like 6 to 7 other girls as well that were like this
Getting
dude
hacked by this guy.
that this dude was like uploading nudes to like Reddit, 4chan, all these crazy things, even sending it to like their boss. So like for 10 years she couldn't, like the girl in the main
anytime
story,
she would get a job, it was just getting
dude. So it like her whole life was
I
like,
had a homie that happened to him recent here in the valley,
bro.
Like, people were just, this girl would just like create new accounts and just send his news to everybody, and we're like that fool would just like be like, it's happening again. It's happening again. Like I just felt bad for him. I was
dude,
like, damn, bro.
it's crazy. And so eventually they end up going to court. And the thing is, man, is like the judge was old and he couldn't relate to the situation because he's this old guy. But what really like kind of made the judge go into like this guy's like go into the girl's side is the fact that a minor was involved, and the fact that like he was like he hadn't learned his lesson. Like he was doing this for continuously for 10 plus years to multiple people, and like bro, like the defendant public defender was like trying to get him to like get 5 years, 6 years, and because like I guess like he was in a different state, they were in a different state, whatever, there was like some sort of like legality issue, like would this apply federally, what kind of crimes was he committing. Eventually, to sum it up, he ended up getting 15 years in prison, but like they had to endure like so much of like just they had done all the research, they had done all the investigation, they went to the police department to go report it, but like the situation wasn't treated like seriously because it was online,
and that guy didn't understand what it meant.
like the police wouldn't understand it. They like it's like, here's the crime, we did all the heavy work, that's the guy, go catch him. It's as simple as that. But like, because it's a situation where like the internet isn't really at the time it wasn't seen as a serious thing that can affect people's lives. It's like it had to be like this whole crazy process where like the girls literally had to spend money trying to get
This whole thing when Cherry had done the research to get that guy convicted.
like it took like a while, and it was like finally when the guy got convicted, it's like, well, shit, dude, like he got 15 years in prison. Like that, I think that's enough. That's
It's a good lesson to just don't be a scumbag in this world. Now, yeah, bro,
it's interesting, man. Like it's just it's just
a big generational difference, and yeah, it's just a matter of time. 20 years from now, some of these people are gonna be gone, and the new generation that's growing up with the technology is gonna be more being able to process these things more fairly, more freely. But I don't know we'll be able to catch up, because when we're older, the kids that are not even born yet are gonna be like in another fucking frequency, you know? Like the music that they make now, it's just so much artists, so much music, but it's cool because it's like there's people that are super famous in whatever industry with like 10 million followers, and they have like the most dedicated fan base. You've never even heard of these people. There's people that are super famous in like Slovakia. They're super famous in Argentina. They got millions of followers over here, but we don't even know. Haven't even heard of them. We don't even speak their language. We don't even do this. That's what's cool about the internet, because you could create a niche community based on you, based on what you create. You know,
based
you
on
attract,
like a similar interest.
And now it's just we're connected but not connected. You know, like before something goes mainstream, everybody saw fucking Britney Spears because it was just on MTV and on the radio.
Right.
We all get exposed to the super pop artist, like the #1 record in America. Everyone knew it because at the mall they're playing it, and the radio they're playing it. But now, like the #1 song, you don't know what it is because you got your own Spotify algorithm, and these people are on Apple Music. We don't even know what's on the radio. People don't even listen to the radio.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting, man, because like
it's different.
there's no gatekeepers though. Like that's why, you know, if you think about it, like that's why that era, like everything was controlled. Like I think that's why like people hated Nickelback so much, was because it was like no, like
hey, Nickelback's goated, bro.
They are. I wish I would have saw him live, but like it's a prime example. Like people at the time hated them because they were just like a stereotypical like radio rock
The
band.
same song, cookie cutter,
like like industry standard like at the time, and people just hated them because it was like they were trying to rebel to something that they eventually wanted, which was kind of like the birth of what we see today with now today's artists. So
people
like
choose whatever they want to listen
they
to.
get to choose, and that's what people want. I think going forward, that's continue to be a thing, but I think eventually there's going to be a point where it's like somehow everything comes back to like being controlled in some sort of way, where it's like I think we're still seeing it now, like with like labels and stuff like that, kind of like having
the playlist, and they still can control in a way.
Yeah,
they're controlling in a different way, but then we have regular people who are able to use the same systems to create their own niche market.
I think people are still going to find a creative way
people still want to be connected with people and connect with people. So I think we're just apes. That's how we summarize it. Well, Brian, thank you for joining me in another episode. I haven't done this in a while.
I know, man. It feels like it's been forever. But, you know, we're always tapped in with each other. It's always good to be here at the table, at the apes table.
The apes table.